This is the Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, semi-retired pro wrestler, and today, I am your host. Look, if you thought that WrestleMania 41 was off the chain, let me tell you something. The Raw After WrestleMania showed up and said, hold my beer. Today, we're going to be talking about John Cena's new era of ruining pro wrestling, and Jey Uso just got a target on his back, and maybe he doesn't see it. And Seth Rollins, is Seth Rollins building a new shield? Today, I'm going to drop a prediction on you that is going to reshape the way that you look at WWE. If it's your first time here, just remember this podcast is fully interactive. So if you got a comment at any time, whether it's live or on demand, put it in, and I respond to 99.99% of all of the comments. And let's talk about John Cena promo. So John Cena, he enters the ring wearing the Undisputed Championship backwards. That's something that he did last night. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a little protest. Maybe it's like, when people put the American flag upside down during protest, or it's a time of war, or whatever it was. But if you ask me, it's the ultimate disrespect. John Cena, why is the belt on backward? We don't want to look at your butt. Like, yeah, we can't see you, but we want to see the belt at least. But then John Cena comes out. And in John Cena, he plays the crowd like a fiddle, right? John Cena is at this moment in his career to where he is not concerned whether he's the cool good guy or not. I mean, the cool bad guy or not. John Cena just wants to be ruthless. Because think about it like this. I'm not going to lie. I was one of the people that didn't appreciate John Cena. I ain't going to lie. I didn't appreciate John Cena, right? Because at the time when I was going to pro wrestling school, I was saying if I wrestled the way that John Cena wrestled, I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't be able to, my trainer would look at me like I was crazy. But the thing I got to realize is that I wasn't John Cena. John Cena, look, John Cena probably was forced down our throats, but at the time when we needed when WWE needed John Cena, we didn't want John Cena. Now we want John Cena because he's retiring. John Cena's like, nah, bump that, keep that, because I don't want that. John Cena gets booed, he gets cheered, and then he demands an apology. What is John Cena doing out there? I've said this many times before, that John Cena, he is out there and he is rewriting the whole entire playbook when it comes to pro wrestling. Whatever it is that you think that pro wrestling was, he's rewriting it. And John Cena even said that he is ruining pro wrestling. He's going to ruin it for all of us. And look, you can't ruin it for me, brother, because I already know what the gimmick is when it comes to pro wrestling. How could John Cena ruin pro wrestling? John Cena could take the belt, hold the belt hostage. John Cena even said one time as well, too, that he is going to retire because he made that promise. He said on the Pat MacAfee show yesterday that he made the promise to the people that he's going to retire at the end of the year. But then again, why would John Cena keep that promise if he doesn't care what the people think? He doesn't care what the people think. John Cena is going to be in the WWE longer than December. I promise you, I don't care what John Cena says. He says that there's not any amount of money that's going to make him come back once he retires. But let me tell you how this is going to work. Whoever it is, most likely it should be Cody Rhodes. I love that Cody Rhodes was not on Raw, and I hope that Cody Rhodes is not on SmackDown. I hope that Cody Rhodes goes away for a while. And Cody Rhodes is the one that eventually has to go to John Cena's door, knock on his door, meet him at the Hollywood red carpet and tell him, come see me, because you're not a man. Here's a hot take. John Cena's heel turn is not just a face. He's just scorching the earth and just saying farewell. You're supposed to leave the pro wrestling business better than when you found it. And John Cena is destroying the whole entire pro wrestling business. And that's his plan. Because you know what? When he loved the pro wrestling business so much, it didn't love him back. So now John Cena has this toxic relationship between him and the fans, and he doesn't care. But last night on Raw, we got Randy Orton. Randy Orton made a return to the main event picture, and he had an RKO waiting for John Cena to close the segment. Listen to me. Chef's kiss. Tell me that this is not 2007, 2008, 2009 again, where Randy Orton and John Cena are feuding. It's crazy what we're getting right now. And I'm so excited for what's going to happen because when you were seeing John Cena and Randy Orton wrestle back in the day, they were only a couple years in, less than 10 years. But now, these guys got almost 30 years. John Cena and Randy Orton standing in the ring will be giving us almost 60 years of experience. Imagine what we are going to get. If you are not excited right now to be a pro wrestling fan, are you even alive? I told you, leading into WrestleMania weekend, that this is the time that you're supposed to take somebody and show them what we love and allow them to fall in love with it, because now WWE has hit the reset button on the whole entire thing. And what we're getting is something that's going to be, you think WWE was selling out stadiums? They're going to have to book double stadiums and put people in the parking lot just to watch the shows. I promise you I said that. But look, John Cena isn't the only one rewriting history. Becky Lynch, she's doing it too. But did her story hit the mark? Let's talk about the women's tag team match last night and Becky Lynch turns. So it's Becky Lynch and Tyra Valkyria and versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I didn't think that we were going to get that WrestleMania rematch so soon. I think that match originally at WrestleMania, it was perfect for Monday Night Raw. Because it was just like, man, it was nothing special. Because on Raw, we're getting high caliber matches in the main event. So now they actually gave us that match, the main event, and then we had a little bit of fun. We had chaos, we had false finishes, and ultimately we got new champs again. Let me tell you, on my WrestleMania weekend bingo card, I didn't see Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez winning the women's tag team championships again. But then, post-match, Becky Lynch snaps and turns on Valkyria with 3 manhandle slams. You want to hear what I think about Becky Lynch turning heel again? It felt like deja vu. We've seen it already, Becky. It's lazy, and it's lazy and repetitive booking for Becky Lynch. Why is it that she always got to turn? Why is it always got to be like that? But you know what? With the way that Raw went off the air last night, I have an idea for Becky Lynch. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you keep it locked. Sit down, put your headphones on. Whatever you're doing, just hang out with me for a while because we've got so much more to get into. Speaking of deja vu, what year is this? I mean, my phone, my computer, everything tells me it's 2025. But I feel like someone just rewound the clock in such a huge way. So the New Day came out. The New Day came out. They are the new tag team champions, in case you missed WrestleMania. And Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, they come out. They're going to gloat, we are the new tag team champs. We are the new tag team champs. You know what? I think that they're probably the most decorated tag team champions in the whole entire history of the WWE. But then while they were doing that, the Alpha Academy comes out. The Alpha Academy is like, you know what? We got next. You know what? Shout out to the Alpha Academy for holding it down. Because they came out there, they said that they wanted next at the WWE Tag Team Championships because maybe they see, the New Day as a victim. So let's go ahead. We're going to get ready and start the match. But before we could even start the match, what happens? Rusev said, hold on, I'm back. Rusev, who's Rusev? This is where I'm talking about. It feels like WWE just rewound the clock to the calendar to 2015. Rusev was wrestling in AEW as Miro. He left WWE because, they released him and it just wasn't working for him. But now he's back with a vengeance in the WWE. His body looks great. He looks like Miro. Don't even call him Miro. Never gonna call him Rusev. Rusev Day is back in the WWE. Not only is Rusev Day back in the WWE, I'm going to stand out on a limb and say that Rusev, he's going to be a champion in the next year or two. The next year or two, he's going to be the WWE champion. I can see that. Or, undisputed champion. That's if Cody Rhodes could win it back. That's if John Cena doesn't hold up the title. But definitely, the World Heavyweight Champion, I definitely see Rusev being the World Heavyweight Champion. Because he comes into the ring, and he not only destroys Tozawa, he destroys Otis, and he sends a message that is loud and clear to everybody in the WWE that I am back. I watched the match this morning where Rusev wrestled John Cena for the United States Championship at WrestleMania. And looking at that Rusev and looking at the Rusev that we have now, two different people. One is older and wiser, much slimmer, and in much better shape. I'm looking at Rusev like, yo, bro, your arms are long. You got a long reach on you. You know what, though? With Rusev's return and Cena with the title, or in the mix, I feel like it's 2015 on steroids, and I'm here for it. And I'm glad that I'm able to do something like this right now to where we can all hang around and just talk about what we love. And what we love is pro wrestling. I love the pro wrestling. I love the fact that WWE is just changing right in front of our eyes. If you are not a fan if you know somebody that's not a fan of WWE, let them watch a couple matches from night 1 and night 2. If you need help, look at the episodes I made to recap night 1 and night 2. Just let them watch those, those 9 matches that I covered. And then have them watch the Raw After WrestleMania. If they are not hooked, divorce them, break up with them, find a new family, send them someplace to live because they're not people that you want to be with. So we got new tag team champions. We got new champions all over the WWE. We got new rivalries, but the World Heavyweight Champion, Jey Uso, has one thing that Cody Rhodes never did. That's yeet power. Yeet power. So, Jey Uso, tremendous win at WrestleMania. I didn't think that he was going to win that night at WrestleMania. I wanted him to win on Monday Night Raw. I think he would have got more leverage in it. I just think the whole entire visual part of everybody doing the whole yeet thing inside the arena, I thought that would have been so amazing for everybody just to watch. And what happened was that we didn't get that, but we got that the next night when Jey Uso came out and he did the whole entire thing. He's celebrating his big win over Gunther, and everybody in Las Vegas is chanting, he tapped out. But then Sami Zayn comes out. I don't know, bruh. I don't know. Sami Zayn comes out and show love, but the way that he was looking at that championship, the way that Sami Zayn was looking to see what that belt looks like, because he's real close to the belt. He couldn't beat Gunther for it, but he feels that he can beat Jey. But Jey doesn't see that, because when Jey came down off the ropes, Sami Zayn was standing right next to him. But I love, I'm choking. I love how WWE just dropped the seeds right there. They said, hey, you know what? What if? And everybody's watching. But I love it that WWE is not giving up to us yet. They're edging us the whole entire way through this whole entire story. But then, Jimmy Uso joins as well too. Does Jimmy Uso got a little bit of salt in his wound? Does he got a little bit of hate in his blood for his brother? I'll tell you this, I'm not 100% sure if I want to see Jimmy and Jey for the World Heavyweight Championship. But I tell you this, I'm not emotionally invested in anything that Sami Zayn is doing, but I'm invested in seeing Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso for the Heavyweight Championship. But like I said, in order for Jey Uso to have a good championship run, because one of the things that I'm saying is that it's the chase. The chase is everything. Right? They chased for the belt like Cody Rhodes. He chased for the belt. And Jey Uso, he chased for the belt. Same thing with LA Knight. They chase for the belt. But when they get the belt, they actually have to defend it. And they still have to be interesting. So my thing is this. Jey Uso needs to be put in a lot of unfair advantages and have somebody come for his kufi in order for you to be like, you know what? That boy right there, he's got a chance. My hot take is I don't trust Jimmy, not at all. I don't trust his own brother, and I don't trust Sami. But I tell you this, that this story is not finished. But Jey Uso, like I said, he needs a threat and not support. The fun was chase. The chase was fun, but now he has to survive. How will he survive? Will he be able to come up from underneath and fight and defend that championship every week? The reason why people started calling John Cena Big Match Cena is because at the end of the match, John Cena would come out and it's like, wow, you know what? Regardless of we're not liking you or not, we're going to cheer for you because you fought for that. You fought for yours. And Jimmy Uso's going to have to fight for his. Because like I said, the WWE right now at the top, all the big names on the top. And because Seth Rollins and everything that Seth Rollins did, and we're going to get ready to talk about Seth Rollins, so make sure you don't go anywhere. But the thing, though, about Seth Rollins and CM Punk and Roman Reigns, those are the top guys right now. And they're not going to be at the top forever. They're eventually going to have to leave. And then when they leave, the question is, who is next? Speaking of Gunther, we did a little bit of talking about Gunther, but you know what? Instead of Gunther going in and saying, you know what, let me inflict my WrestleMania rematch clause, my championship rematch clause, he just went outside and he didn't take the loss too well. Oh, you don't know if he took the loss too well? Ask the commentary team. So what happens after that little segment with Jey Uso is that Gunther snaps at the commentary. He chokes out Pat MacAfee, and Pat MacAfee sells it like death. Here is my problem with that entire segment. There's a time when Pat MacAfee was walking out. If you were choked out so much that you had to be escorted out of the arena and go to the medical, where did you find time to slap fives with somebody? You should have just walked out. I don't know. That's just what I think. I don't think that Pat MacAfee should have been clapping fan hands with anybody. But I like the thing that they planted the seeds. They planted the seeds of Pat MacAfee versus Gunther. But here's the way that I'm looking at this as well, too. Gunther still has that rematch clause. Have Jey Uso go one way, and then have Gunther go the other way. Have Jey Uso get some credible wins, because remember, going into WrestleMania, Jey Uso didn't have any confidence in himself. So now have him go and build up his confidence, give him some credible wins, and have that when he beats Gunther again, that it's not just luck. Because if he just beats, it was luck. He got lucky. Gunther slept on Jey Uso. But next time, I'd be mad if I was Gunther too. You slept on the guy. The guy was not in your level. He was not in your tax bracket, and you got beat. Imagine that. But Gunther has that kill streak with him. He's so deadly and dangerous that, like, Gunther, we're seeing a new version of Gunther. We're seeing a new champion of Gunther. Gunther, a new style of wrestler with Gunther. Gunther was so prestigious. Gunther was so into doing the right things when it came to being like with his hands behind his back, and he was better than everybody else. He held his nose up. But now, you know what? Gunther, he's unhinged, and he's even more dangerous than before. So if your name is Jey Uso, let me tell you something. A little piece of that ass belongs to Gunther, and one day he is going to come for it. But the biggest chaos is yet to come. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns, and a spear that broke the time. But you know what? Before we get into that, here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how popular pro wrestling is right now. Pro wrestling, WWE, of course, is the barometer. If WWE is doing good, everybody else will do good. And that's just how it is when it comes to pro wrestling. It's a trickle-down effect. WWE's up here, and when they start doing good, TNA does good, AEW does good, Ring of Honor does good, the Indies do good, podcasts like this do good on YouTube, everybody's interested. So, so because of that, WWE and Netflix have a new series coming out, the Unreal series announcement, and WWE Unreal is supposed to premiere this summer, where you go behind the curtain like never before, and I'm excited for it. The reason why I'm excited for that show is because I'm a broadcast person. I understand the wrestling part, and I'm dabbling into the broadcast side. So now they're going to bring you behind the scenes to show you how they put the whole entire thing together. Okay, look. WWE is taking you behind the scenes to show you how they pulled a rabbit out of the hat, how they saw the man in two. That is what WWE is getting ready to do this summer. Look, that show right there is showing that Netflix and WWE's partnership is on fire. Okay? This is for the people outside of the WWE. They get Raw. They get SmackDown. They get NXT. They get all the PLEs, right? It's all global now, right? But now they're adding an additional show. We're going to have the ability in the United States to now watch behind the scenes with everybody else how WWE does it, and they're making a whole documentary out of it. Golly, what a time that we live in. I am so glad to be alive right now, and I'm so glad that you're here with me too. Look, if it wasn't for the popularity in pro wrestling, I wouldn't be getting 351 plus subscribers right now in the Tristan Law Show. There'd be no interest in pro wrestling. But you know what? Let me give it a hot take. I'm going to drop a hot take for you right now when it comes to WWE Unreal. This could be WWE's Drive to Survive moment. And this is how you pull in new fans that don't even watch wrestling yet. Instead of trying to entice them with everything that's happening in front of the camera, you're in front of the curtain where the paid people sit. They're now putting you behind the scenes so that you can now watch and see exactly what happens. Plug the WWE on Netflix moment. This is like, this is a shift. It's a shift for the industry. WWE has given us behind the scenes before, but WWE Unreal, it's going to be unreal the way that they're giving us to us. There are people rolling over in their graves because this is not how you're supposed to do pro wrestling. And how you're not supposed to do pro wrestling? Let's talk about the chaos. We're going to jump into the chaos with Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Bron Breakker, and Paul Heyman. You know what? That's what we all clicked here for. That's what we're going to be here. That segment, I didn't see it coming. I've heard people say it, and I thought that they were crazy. Seth Rollins comes out and gloats how he stole CM Punk's best friend, Paul Heyman. CM Punk storms the ring, and a whole entire brawl breaks out. Roman Reigns comes out to try to save the day and takes and gives a Superman punch to Paul Heyman. But then a hooded figure shows up. In a hoodie, the hooded figure shows up and it's Bron Breakker. He spares Roman Reigns, he spares Punk, and then spares Roman Reigns again through the barricade. What's happening here? Seth Rollins, is he creating his own evolution? Seth Rollins, is he creating a new Shield 2.0? Seth Rollins. I was thinking just yesterday, while I was making breakfast, before I sat down and talked to you about pro wrestling, I said to myself, well, you know, the Judgment Day is kind of feeling kind of stale. The bloodline has to go away because what else can the bloodline offer us? And then there needs to be a new faction other than the Judgment Day and the bloodline, and then even the LWO. Nobody really cares about the LWO too much, but what's going to be the next big faction? Because WWE was faction heavy for the last 3 years. Enter Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker with Paul Heyman at their side. Here's my question. Who else can they add to the group? I see Becky Lynch going in there. There's been so many Paul Heyman guys that there's never been a Paul Heyman gal, okay? I said it. Look, the way that WWE did this whole entire thing now is that now we've gotten the feud between Seth Rollins and CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This is from like at least a year and a half ago, and they're still giving it to us. They pretty much injected steroids into it and said, hey, go ahead and run. Now, eventually, if Becky Lynch joins the group, CM Punk might have to bring his wife in for his wife to come in and regulate, right? There's just so many things that could happen. The whole entire segment that ended Raw last night is setting the tone for the next year of WWE. If this is what WWE gave us coming out of the night after WrestleMania, imagine what SmackDown on Friday is going to look like. Imagine what NXT is going to look like. Imagine what WrestleMania 42 next year can look like. Oh my God, Seth Rollins is going to be the man. And then Bron Breakker, Bron Breakker's got to be the man as well too, because Bron Breakker is the future. And who else better for him to learn from than somebody like Seth Rollins? There's a lot. When you look at Monday Night Raw last night after Mania, John Cena and Randy Orton's feud is the perfect feud to add into it's the perfect feather for the cap of John Cena's career. Can't wait for it to happen. Like I said, over 60 years probably of pro wrestling experience combined between both men are going to be in that ring going into the story. I can't wait. The John Cena and Randy Orton of 2015 and not the John Cena and Randy Orton of 2025. I can't wait to see for that happen. Becky Lynch, her turn last night was tired booking, but at least Valkyria, she's going to get a real feud now to where she's not just having one-off matches. She's got somebody that's dangerous and that could actually come for her kufi. Rusev is back. Jey Uso is on top, and Bron Breakker just made himself a main event player in just one night. Like I said on yesterday's live stream, on yesterday's episode, that even though that Bron Breakker lost the Intercontinental Championship to Dominic Mysterio, that he just went ahead and he didn't lose much. He gained a lot, and we saw that last night. Here, let me give you a final hot take, because I got a special message for you guys. Let me give you a final hot take. WWE used to wait months to shift direction after WrestleMania, but not anymore. Last night's Raw was the most aggressive reset we've seen in years, and I love it. Here's my special message that I got for you guys, because before we wrap up, we did a lot of episodes going into WrestleMania, and I just want to take a second to say thank you. I started the Tristan Law Show back in 2020, coming off of another podcast that I did with a team. My heart wasn't in interviewing people and sharing stories, but then life started lifing, so I had to take a break from the original Tristan Law Show. Fast forward to 2024, after a couple of good conversations on social media about pro wrestling, I decided that it was time to relaunch the Tristan Law Show. This time I went all in on YouTube, and I leaned into what I knew best, going live. That live radio experience that I had when I worked at the country music station up in the country in New York. This run that I'm doing right now in the Tristan Law Show, it's been a blessing in disguise. And then since July, we've been building this whole entire Tristan Law Show thing together. This isn't just a show anymore. This isn't just like a podcast that we're doing on YouTube. This is a whole entire community. We've added over 300 new members to the squad. We've dropped hours of live streams, shorts, and audio-only episodes. I've looked at how many episodes I've dropped since July. I've probably dropped over 80 hours worth of live episodes, not including the Pro Wrestling Scorecard, not including the shorts that I do, not including the audio-only comment. We've done so much. But together, here on this Tristan Law Show channel on YouTube, we've laughed, we've yeeted, we've debated, we've argued, and we've connected. One of the biggest things for me was to always make sure that you have a voice. That you have a voice, that where somebody cares about your voice, that you can come here and sit down and talk about the thing that we love. And I just want to say that I see y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'm humbled that you guys all took a chance on a stranger like me. You don't know me. You only know a little bit about me. But I tell you this, episode after episode, video after video, you see my personality, and when you guys interact, I see your personality. We're not just building an audience here. We're not just building a bunch of fans of Tristan Law. What we're building here is we're building friendships. Real friendships that connect us based on what we love. So with that said, I'm taking a little break. No live streams for the next 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, you won't see me live. Nope. So make sure you follow me on social media at The Real Big Tris, but I'm not disappearing. I'm not doing that. The Pro Wrestling Scorecard will still be dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern with legends like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin on deck. I'll still be uploading YouTube shorts, so you can still keep an eye out for that. So make sure your notifications are on. Let's keep this community growing. Share this channel. Drop a comment. Tell a friend who loves pro wrestling. Because here's the truth. Regardless of what anybody thinks about pro wrestling that's not a fan, pro wrestling unites us. No matter what language we speak or where we come from, pro wrestling to us is just a beautiful thing. I'll see you soon. This is the Tristan Law Show. Thank you so much for sharing, and subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tristan Law. This is the Tristan Law Show. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you next time.